welcome back to Vitamin D TV. Today we're going to talk about some out-of-the-box ways to practice your target language. I wanted to make this video because, a lot of times when you look up, some ways to practice your target language, a lot of times you hear the same things. So I wanted to give you guys, something a little different. So the first thing I'm going to say you guys can do is creative writing. And that's if you're the type of person who likes to write, obviously. And the reason why I say creative writing is because, for one, you think differently in your target language than you would in your native language. And that's for any language it is that you learn. Anybody, you practice things differently in your target language. You process things differently in your target language than you do in your native language. Like, languages they're not just a bunch of words, they're a totally different way of thinking. So you would want to write some things down in your target language and see where that goes, and get it corrected by a native speaker, get it corrected by a teacher or a friend, etc. Also, when you're writing, like if you have a journal, you quickly learn what words you need to learn. Like if I'm writing about my day in my journal in my target language in French or Spanish or Italian or whatever, I'm like, okay, I want to say this sentence, but I don't know how to say this sentence. And you didn't even know you didn't know how to say that until you started writing. So writing is definitely good for finding new vocabulary that you need to learn. And once you learn that, or once you find that vocabulary word, put it on a flashcard, put it on your flashcards app like Anki or etc. And you learn that word from there. So number one, do some creative writing. Number two is attend a cooking class, like a real deal cooking class in your target language. Like if you're learning French, go take a cooking class where they actually speak to you in French and not in English. You learn about their food, you'll learn about their culture, you'll learn about their way of doing things. And because language is not just a bunch of words, it's a culture, it's a totally new universe pretty much that you're entering. So you want to learn how they do things. Also, with a cooking class, you can see how well you can follow instructions in another language. Like if they're telling you to whip the butter for 5 minutes and then pour it into the batter, you want to see how well you can follow that instruction, especially if you're about to travel abroad. You want to make sure you know how to cook, okay? Another thing you can do is cultural events. Like you can go to, it's a little cold outside in my part of town, but maybe in the summertime you can go to festivals, you can go to plays, you can go to concerts. Concerts are really fun. And in that target language. So, for example, if you're learning Spanish, go to an Ozuna concert, go to a Bad Bunny concert. That's on my wish list right now, so cultural events, you make more friends, and you're practicing your target language literally pretty much the entire day for the most part. Another thing you can do, which is a little out of the box, is you can talk to yourself in the shower. I would say you can talk to yourself in the shower because, for one, no one can judge you. For my introverts, no one can judge you. It's just you. Secondly, let's say you work in retail or in a restaurant or whatever, and you're practicing your vocabulary for that language. Talk to yourself and see how well you can pronounce what you need to say. How would you like that steak prepared? How can I help you? What are you looking for? What size do you need or whatever? Practice saying those things now so that you don't feel like a fool when you're speaking to a native speaker, because a lot of times language learners, you judge yourselves way too harshly when you're speaking to a native speaker. Like, they're another human being just like you. God created them too. They're not any better than you. So don't kill yourself when you mess up in front of a native speaker. So if you want to lessen that probability, talk to yourself in the shower. If you feel like you're not saying it right, practice, okay? No one else is there to judge you. So yeah, that's that. Another thing you can do is affirmations. Affirmations are really powerful. They actually work. Like, a lot of people don't believe this, but you speak things into existence. It says it in the Bible. They weren't kidding about that. It really works. Like, I would say, for example, everything is always working in my favor. Especially when I'm stressing out about something, I'll just keep saying everything is always working in my favor. And especially when you say that every day, I'm not gonna tell you how fast you'll get the results or whatever, because it depends how many times a day you're saying it. But a lot of times when I'm saying that, life will show situations to me to prove that what I said is true. And that can go for literally anything you do. Affirmations, okay? Talk about yourself. Also, talk about yourself in your target language. I'm from such and such place. I live here. I like to do this. This is how I like to spend my free time. My goals in life are this. My reason for learning this target language is this. I started learning this target language such and such time ago. Practice saying all of those things, because a native speaker is going to ask you literally all of that. What made you want to learn German? You're a black girl. Why are you learning German? Like, that's something they would think, So, yeah, not that I'm learning German, but yeah, that's something they're going to say to you, because I have a friend that is doing it, and yeah, some stories she's told me. So yeah, practice talking about yourself. Sorry. Another thing you can do is babysit children, babysit some toddlers. And I say that because, for one, they're going to be learning your target language along with you if you're talking to them in your target language all the time. Like, I was babysitting this kid, and he's like 1, maybe 2 now, and I was talking to him in Spanish like all the time when I was babysitting him. And to this point, like, he understands me, and it's pretty freaking cool. And nobody else speaks to him in Spanish. And now it's at the point, like, I kind of feel weird talking to him in English, because I don't know, it's just weird. So practice with babies and toddlers, because for one, you feel smarter than them, because you are. You feel smarter than them. 2, you won't be judged for your mistakes, because they're kids. Like, what do they know? 3, like I said, you're going to be teaching them another language, okay? So if you're already a babysitter, if you've been thinking about that, or you need some extra dough or whatever, while you're babysitting, talk to them in your target language, and in your target language only. If you can, put them in front of TV in your target language. That way you guys are both learning something, and because kids are sponges. They're going to absorb that language like that, do that. So those are some of the tips that I have, for learning some out of the box ways to practice. You guys try this out. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if it's working out for you. And if you guys have some out of the box ways to practice, comment below and let me know, you guys. So that's all I wanted to talk about. I'll see you guys soon.